Hey everybody, it's Terenzo. It's been a while since I've done a Let's Play, but today we're playing Rabio Lepus, or Rabbit Punch, if you play the United States version. I'm actually freezing my tail off. The heat is broken in my house, so I'm kind of trying to take my mind off of it. And to do so, here is a Let's Play of Rabio Lepus. I hope to explain some of my inner monologue as we play this silly game about rabbits shooting things in space. I'm playing the Japanese version. I'm going to just pick the normal mode. I mean, you get unlimited continues, so what's the point unless you're going for Twin Galaxy scoreboard or something. Now that scene was actually taken out of the American version of the game. I never saw that scene until I grew up and got a chance to play the Japanese version. I assume they thought that the girl in the bunny outfit was too close to Playboy or something, so they took it out. There's also the possibility that they didn't care to translate much of the story, so they just left it out. Really, the only cutscenes you get in the American version are when you rescue the king, when you rescue the princess, and of course the ending. And I really think it was just because they thought the bunny looked too risque, because you actually rescue the bunny girl at the end of the first section. But that cutscene was taken out, and they just left in the king and the princess, who were the two most fully clothed characters. So my money is on it being a censorship issue for the United States release. A lot of people don't like this game because it's kind of bland. It's very difficult if you're trying, especially the American version where you do not get unlimited continues. If you continue past 9, you have to start at stage 9. And I mean, you got one standard type of shot, you got one bonus weapon, which you can power up with a ribbon, which gives you these kind of flashing missiles here. Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. And it is possible to collect them all. I did not, but you can, much like Pokemon, collect all the carrots there. It's difficult, but you can do it. It's much easier with 2 players. If you play the hard mode, all these levels have different color palettes. It's kind of neat, actually. And much more difficult enemy formations. I will give it to you, some of the enemies in this are pretty uninspired. They look pretty generic. I mean, I guess they used up all the creativity on, hey, we're going to make a game about a rabbit shooting stuff in space. Oh! And do not expect this to be perfect. I have played this game since childhood, and I have not yet perfected it. Always punch those. If you shoot them, they blow up in a bunch of hard-to-dodge mess. Always punch. Punching is like ridiculously OP in this game, too. If you can punch some enemies, you can destroy them at least 2 or 3 times as fast as you could with even the rainbow missiles, which you can get with the bow on your head. The game also penalizes you, or, well, not so much penalizes you, but shakes its finger at you warily at the end of the game if you use missiles, which is, I mean, this game's hard enough, and then they're like, oh, but you use missiles. Well, no crap, I use missiles. This game is impossibly hard as it is. I'm playing on the easy setting. Imagine if your arcade operator set this thing on very difficult or whatever. And as if this isn't painful enough, there's also a manual shot setting in the dip switches, which makes your shots manual. They only go as fast as you can tap the button. Here they kind of are like a machine gun that kind of gets tired out and you have to let it rest for a few seconds, which makes the game much easier. Maybe I'm not playing as elite hacker for not using the manual setting. To get this can, you have to time it right and use missiles. Any other way, you'll end up knocking it off screen. Oops. I always try to kill as many of these as I can without using missiles. The boss in this stage, fortunately, isn't too difficult. You don't really need to use missiles. We'll just go under those.
Destroy enemy master.
let loose a missile salvo as I go back around for the loop. Yeah. And there you have it. Alright, we're coming up on the first boss stage here. You get 1, 2, 3 and a boss on each of these levels. This is fortunately the easiest one, is the space station boss. If you're new to shoot 'em ups, it might be vaguely difficult, but it's not too tough. It doesn't have much health. If you go back and look, this was actually the first game I reviewed on this YouTube channel. It's my first video ever on here. Now see, this scene wasn't in the American version. They took her out, I'm guessing because that looks like a Playboy bunny. You actually lose part of the story, though. It's a shame they didn't, if they were going to have to censor it, they didn't just reskin her or something. I never even knew that cutscene existed until I was an adult already. Alright, now we're in the Asteroid level. Asteroid Base, as the game calls it. It's here where things start to pick up a little bit. You get some more different enemy formations. And the like. Hopefully I can score an extra life by points here and get my third life bar back. Aha! Invincibility. Raccoon thingy. Not sure what that's supposed to be. It looks like one of those Japanese raccoons with the huge balls. The appearance of those power-ups is pretty random. I've never really been able to find a rhyme or reason to it. I think it may have something to do with your kill streak or score. I'm not sure. I've had them appear, you know, just in the most worthless spot, and then I've had them turn up like right before a boss battle, so I just like murdered the boss. In fact, about the furthest I ever got on the American version of this game where you can't continue is the ice stage toward the end of the game, stage 10, and that was just because I got lucky and got an invincibility power up right before the boss, and so I just plowed through it.
Stage 6.
The boss of this stage, I'll go ahead and tell you, is a ghost. And I believe it's appeared in a few other V-System games. You can actually play some of the Aero Fighters Assault series. And Rabio here, the Red Rabbit, he is a playable character in one of those. But the ghost itself turns up as a boss in one of the Aero Fighters. I think it may be Aero Fighters 2. I'm sure if anybody who's a fan of that watches this, they'll be glad to call me an idiot in the comments and tell me which one it is, but I'd appreciate it. I don't know if I've pointed these out before, the little head things that just get in your way. Around the asteroid level, you start running into the ones with demon ears that's actually spit crap at you. Having a ribbon when you end the game also is another bonus. You get it at the same screen that tells you whether you use missiles or not. Although it should be fairly obvious to you whether you've used them or not. And the ghost actually has a name. It's not just Obake, it's something else, and I don't remember what it is. But he's kind of like a V-System character. They didn't have that many characters, obviously. When's the last time you heard of a V-System game, right? Alright, we got another one of these, and then there's the asteroid boss level. At this stage, you start running into these little orbs that your shots just go through, that you can't damage them. The only way to kill those would be with an invincibility power-up. Well, I took some damage for those missiles. I hope they were worth it. So you can't put a bunny girl in a halter top, but you can show a fairy in a bikini in the background, and that's kosher. Good old early 90s game culture. I wonder if that's one that slipped through. You know, you had a lot of the early Castlevania games where they put togas on statues of, like, naked Roman statues and things. Seems like they forgot one somewhere in one of the games. I don't remember. This frickin' guy. Just how much mess can I put on the screen at one time? Trying to conserve missiles because you don't get very many of them from here on out. Alright, now this guy I found, if you're playing with infinite continues, the quickest way is to just come up and punch him right in the mouth. And I could probably even do that without getting killed if I wasn't so impatient. I'm sorry I didn't show you more of that boss. It's basically just a head that spits stuff at you, and there's a little snake that goes around, which you can actually kill the snake. And you can still continue to fight the boss. This boss, along with all the others, will start spawning a ridiculous amount of those little bouncy things and spitting them at you if you wait too long to kill him. So it's not like some other shoot-'em-ups like maybe Dragon Saber or X Multiply, where if you just wait it out, the boss will leave. No, you do or die in Rabio Lepus. This stage is pretty much the bane of my existence in this game. You get a massive difficulty spike when you get to this level. There's not a lot of missiles. Invincibility power-up spawns rarely. If you're playing the American version, of course, you can't continue past this stage. Even if you use 2 players, when one player runs out of life, it makes you wait until the other one dies or finishes the game before you can play again. The boss is a dragon that has a ton of health. And this part right here always... Yeah! Made it. Call me Steven Tyler, because I'm living on the edge. I usually just wait these guys out. Ah. One continue, please.
Destroy enemy master.
This guy. Most of the bosses in this game seem to shoot missiles in sets of 3s. I don't know if that's just developers being lazy or what, but you'll notice most bosses in this game shoot in sets of
3. Stage 10.
This is a stage I never saw much as a kid, and actually on the bad raster monitor that I used to play this on, I thought it was a desert because it looked so yellow. It's actually supposed to be ice. When you see the boss, you know it makes sense. Maybe it's a frozen desert. I think it was a video game museum that had the description that rabbits emit shrill cries of death upon defeat. The player 2 rabbit actually has a different pitch cry than the first one, which I thought was neat. Aha! Yes. Two continues. Ah.
Destroy enemy
Oh,
master.
I got past that. This guy, you pretty much just had to time be in time with the music. He stamps on the ground in time with the music, and you can use that as kind of a tracker, if you will, a rhythm to get in. For a tough stage, not a tough boss, really. Most of the stage bosses and bosses in general in this game aren't very interesting, sad to say. Most of them are just like a one or two sprite animation boss character. I'd say this guy here is one of the more interesting ones, the more well designed. But the others are just like a single image that just kind of bounces around and shoots at you. This guy actually has a laser. Also, a lot of people don't know you can actually super jump if you hold down on the ground and then flick up on your joystick. I think I lied to you earlier. I said that it was either do or die with bosses, but there are a few of them that will leave. This boss in particular, if you take too long to destroy them, they'll just kind of walk off the screen. And the bull will as well, especially if you get his health down low and you just kind of dodge attacks for a while, he'll eventually just walk off the screen. If the boss walks off the screen, you don't get carrots, so you don't get your health restored. Thought you could sneak an all bosses level in on us, could you, huh? Fortunately, you don't have to fight the main bosses again, just these intermediate stage bosses. Look at that face. Oh, and I would die as he... Ugh. Oh well, the last stage you just go straight to the boss. Alright, so the trick to this guy is you have to shoot him a few times so that the game knows that you think it's, you know, futile. And then you come over here. And then you just unload on him. Because he's pretty relentless. He just spams his little 3-bullet and fire thing. That says mission complete, by the way. Arigato, Usugi-san. Or, yeah, Usagi-san. Thank you, Mr. Bunny. But, demo, you use missiles. And she said nah at the end, so it's like, but you used missiles, didn't you? Let's just thank you again. Little cleavage there on the bunny girl. I'm not sure if the bunny girl is in the American version of the ending. I really doubt they would have gone that far because honestly no one would have seen the ending to this game. That little graphic there just said, so peace returned to Bunnyland. And let's see, something about they'll always remember you. And of course this is just the credits. There's your main programmer and all that good stuff. But anyway, this has been Rabio Lepus. Quick little let's play for you there. I will not get to enter my name because if you use any continues or 2 players, you do not get to enter your name in this game, which is a shame because I've got a big score. But then again, it doesn't matter because, I mean, honestly. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been Rabio Lepus. Won't you join us again?